सरकारी दफ्तर में जैसे परिवहन दफ्तर या हेल्थ दफ्तर, इसमें जो सरकारी कर्मियों के पास इसका कोई मतलब जो चिट्ठी वगैरह आता है, जो मिलता है, वो मंत्री जी का दफ्तर में दफन हो जाता है। वो जो साधारण कर्मचारियों के बीच ये जो रूल्स है नहीं जाता। तो जैसे कभी कभी हमारे पास ऐसा केसेस आए हैं और हम हर्लिन को ये केसेस दिए भी हैं कि बहुत सारे जिसको डिसेबल्ड होने के लिए कार्ड के लिए कुछ परीक्षाओं की जरूरत है, किंतु परीक्षा के लिए जब पूरा का पूरा रूल बनाया गया कि कोई पैसा नहीं लिया जाएगा, किंतु लोग से पैसा लिया जाता है क्योंकि उनके पास जानकारी है नहीं क्या किया जाता है। और सबसे बड़ा समस्या पहले ये था कि जो हमारे कमिश्नर जो है, कमिश्नर के पास एक क्षमता था कि वो अपने कुछ डिसीजन ले सके, किंतु मुश्किल है वो एक WBCS ऑफिसर है। अगर उससे भी कोई बड़ा कोई मंत्री या कोई IAS या कोई और बड़ा ऑफिसर से कोई गलती हो जाए हैंडीकैप के पास, तब वो क्या करेंगे? ज्यादा से ज्यादा चिट्ठी को छोड़ के वो तो और कुछ कर नहीं सकते कि वो तो उनसे भी बड़े हैं। तो इसके बारे में अगर कुछ जानकारी हमें दे तो सुविधा हो।
Who are the HRLN lawyers? Can they just stand up, please? We'll just indicate who. And if you can just give your names and from which state you have come. We start from Rai Sahab, aapse? KK Rai, Allahabad, UP. Lucknow Sahab. Mohsin Khan from Bhopal. Shakil from Hyderabad. Rakesh from Manipur. Doma from Gangtok. Ambadika from Kolkata. Elizabeth from Cochin. Bhubaneswari from Port Blair. Am I going too fast? Mohanty from Bhubaneswar. Some more are coming, yes, some more are coming. Malika from Bombay. So, try and meet with them during the course of today and tomorrow. Try and meet. Again, we will do the introduction so that, yes. Covered Nagraj. Huh? No, there is, but
council. I need not attend mute courts, etc. I am now arrested in Bar Council, Madras High Court.
Yeah. And he has filed a wonderful case, both in the High Court and then he's come to the Supreme Court, where it's called the Advisory Committee, or what is it called? Under the Disabilities Act? Yes, I think it's called the State Advisory Committee. Your case is about the State Advisory Committee. Yes. Where the Advisory Committee, yes, Nagraj, it's okay, must have a disabled person. And the High Court said, since the section says, as far as possible, he was available, and he is a very eminent person, a very respected person in the state of Tamil Nadu. He is the leading person, in fact, in the state of Tamil Nadu. But no, they didn't take him, but they took a person who had some political connections, a non-disabled person who had political connections. And that case now is in the Supreme Court on the implementation of the Act. Yeah. Let me just finally say and tell you about Manu Ram's case, isn't it? That is the name of this person? Mani Ram's case. All of you must have... Yeah. You're Mani Ram? Oh, how nice. Give him a good... Oh, wonderful, Mani Ram. Wonderful. We are so happy to have you, Mani Ram, and you will also perhaps address the audience today. We are proud to have you with us. Such fine marks. And past the interview, I think he led the interview marks in the whole country. A deaf person who leads the interviews. He's such an outstanding person, so inspirational that the interview team of the UPSC gave him the highest, one of the highest marks in the whole country. And yet they have not given him the service that he is due, because of a distinction between partially deaf and deaf. This whole system, partially disabled, fully disabled, partially blind, fully blind, partially deaf, fully deaf, and the discrimination between them is also now pending in the High Court here. But Mani Ram's case, we are determined to do something in this matter. And he will become a leader of our movement. Because if after passing your exam and coming top, we will not allow the government of India to discriminate against us. Everywhere people say merit. When we win on merit, we will not allow our people to be pushed down. And Mani Ram's case, definitely we will take. We are so happy to have you with us, and we will have you address us in a short while so that everyone can hear your story and can join you in your struggle for justice. So thank you everybody. That is what I had to say to you. I didn't want to make an academic speech. No point going section by section, article, sub-article, no point. Right? I just wanted you to know that you can use Article 14, Article 21 to file a public interest petition in anybody's name. If you don't have a lawyer, we will give you one from Human Rights Law Network. But even if you don't have a lawyer, please understand, we want you to be able to stand up in the High Court and argue your case yourself. Mr. Nagaraj has argued many cases. Many cases. There is no reason why a deaf person cannot go up, take a sign language interpreter with you, and argue your case in the High Court. And if any of you come to the Supreme Court, let me tell you, it will be great fun. Let us take up the challenge. Come to the Supreme Court and we will have you argue your case yourself. I'll stand next to you. You argue your case and we'll have a sign language interpreter for the judge. Let us create history. For the first time in the history of India, we'll have a deaf person argue his case herself before the Supreme Court.
He wants to tell deaf people who wants to study, they become a lawyer in Bombay. But government's lawyer in college refuse. They say that deaf people can't do that.
You take up every case. What I'm trying to tell you is, please understand, I want to emphasize, you take up every one of these cases. Wherever you feel angry, wherever you feel injustice, wherever you feel bitter that injustice is done to you, immediately we will take up a case in the High Court. Everybody will say, deaf people cannot do this. We say, deaf people can become the Prime Minister of India. And all that people say about us is all rubbish. So every single case that you come across, please let us do hundreds of cases And that is the reason why we have called our lawyers from all over the country here. They have come from Port Blair in the Andaman Islands, where the government has not even heard the word disability. To Sikkim, to Kerala, from all over they have come. Please make a plan for hundreds of cases. Thank you very much. Just hide out in the meanwhile. Would anybody now, we want to spend about 5 minutes. Anybody wants to make any comment? Anybody wants to say something? Not necessarily a question, even a comment. Come here, sir. Sir, come here. Anybody wants to speak, please come. Would anybody like to say something? Please come.
Okay, Mr. Alok Kumar Kejriwal is doing very good presentation, very good speech about Mr. Colin. I came to know, now I understood what is the laws. New points. You know, deaf people, whole world, they do research. But deaf people are the best people in the world. And that is the truth because American people have found it. They say that deaf people are the best people in the world. They have done the research. Do you know about this? That's truth. American have found it. Government people say deaf people can't. But this is opposite. Deaf people are opposite of them. You remember the points?
Okay.
One more person. Anybody else would like to say something before we break for tea? Please come, please come. Oh, actually you speak from there. That's all right. We'll save some time, yes. Yeah.
It is my first exposure to a gathering like this. I find that we have been talking about deaf persons, interpreters, sign language, etc. I would also like to tell the gathering here that we have another category of so-called deaf people who can talk very well without sign language. So they are also deaf people, but then slightly different from many people here who cannot talk but can use only sign language. My only request is that the HRLN should take into account those people who cannot hear but can talk. We have any number of examples. My own son is an example of this kind. My son is profoundly deaf, but he has done his MCA from a regular university. He is now employed in the Infosys as a team leader, but then he still continues to be what they call deaf. And those people who have passed the UPS examinations are those who can not hear but then who can talk. I would request the gathering here to take into consideration people of this category also. Thank you.
Anybody else? Right, so we'll break for tea. Tea is outside. come back as, is there anybody else? Oh, one more person. Then we'll break for tea. Please come. Then we'll break for tea and come back quickly after tea in 10 minutes. 10 minutes after tea.
I'm a deaf teacher in a school. Principal speaks, talks, and the children don't understand everything. Yes, I face a lot of problems because it's not, the communication is not very clear. So I'm very sad about that because communication is not clear, and there's nobody really responsible to watch and teach the children. In the hostel, the food, facilities for children, girls, nothing is right. So there's nobody really to take care of all these things, and there are many problems that I face. Okay, Delhi. Fair, okay.
This is Rinku Sinha from Lady High School for the Deaf, Firozshah Kotla, Delhi. There are two deaf teachers. They both teach art. So all the deaf children are there in the schools. Little nervous. It's okay. I think what you're trying to say was that the principal, the children, and children want to share their problem with the principal. They don't understand each other. It's a serious problem. This is C.L. Matthews. He's a husband of Miss Sinha. And so I keep hearing reports from the school. There seems to be a big problem than anywhere else in India. Teachers are teaching. Nobody understands them, and they beat them with their elbows and their backs. They are abusing the children in some ways. They don't give them proper food in the hostels. And nobody is supervising these children faithfully. The teachers themselves are sleeping, not really teaching. They're supposed to teach science, and some teacher of science portrays herself as a senior teacher of something else. So there's obviously a lot of confusion going on over there. And they don't teach them the proper chapters, the proper books. And they said, oh, read this yourself, figure it out yourself, read it yourself. There are so many people passing out of the school and leaving the school, and they are all unable to function properly. Please help us.
Okay. It's tea break now for 10 minutes. Yes.
stands here with the purpose to introduce the speakers is going to use this line very often. Mr. Ashok Agarwal is another person who needs absolutely no introduction, but I'm going to do a little bit just to perform a sort of duty. Mr. Ashok Agarwal is the founder of The Social Jurist, and he has done a lot of work in the area of education, free education for the underprivileged children, as well as a lot of public interest litigation in disability. He is very closely connected to the cause of disability, and we are very, very glad that we have him here. And with that, I'm going to hand over the mic to Mr. Ashok Agarwal, who's going to speak to us on the Persons with Disabilities Act, the main legislation for persons with disabilities.
Friends, I must frankly tell you that I have lot of concern about the problems being faced by the persons with disabilities, but I have very little knowledge. And while I was sitting here and hearing some of the friends, my belief was reaffirmed that I need to know more and more. Because as a lawyer, unless you know the facts, more and more facts and true facts, you will not be able to put your case before the court, even if you know a law about that. Though the law is one, but it differently applies to different situations and different facts. Therefore, before filing any petition in any court or taking up any cause legally, you have to be very clear about the facts, and then you have to decide in what manner this particular law will apply to it and what ultimately you are going to get out of it. I will not go into the figures, how many persons with disability are, or persons with having hearing impairment problems. I am not sure the figures given by this census is correct. As we know about our government, that it always misleads people on facts and figures. I will also not go in detail on the constitutional provisions, because Colin has summarized it in a very beautiful way. I would only add that this Persons with Disability Act is more or less based on the social philosophy of our Constitution. In other words, it is a point of social justice. I would like to share few of the cases, though there are, I think, hundreds and hundreds of cases, may not be more, in different high courts and Supreme Courts. People have been taking up. It is very good. As Colin said, that wherever you feel angry, hurt, feeling that some injustice has been done to you, you should go to the court. Because making of law is one thing and development of law is another thing. And development of law always takes place, I think, in the courtroom. And fortunately nowadays the media is very much taking up those cases which are particularly coming to the courts. Though we have seen that media is owned and run by the corporate bodies who are not very much interested in the social issues and are always interested in making money, some sensational news. But on the other hand, it has also been noticed nowadays that whenever some matter comes to the court on social issue, whether it relates to the persons with disability or other problems, media is taking it up. And I think around one fourth or some pages are covered with the legal news. As far as the law is concerned, this Persons with Disability Act, I would only say that there should be a provision for accountability. I think we should demand that the duties which entrusted under this act on the government authorities particularly, and when they don't perform those, there should be a penal provision. We can learn from such a penal provision incorporated in Right to Information Act. It has been working to some extent. When you give an immunity, this act also containing a provision for immunity and no accountability, then it becomes very difficult for a citizen to take the government authorities on task, and they can easily delay anything any longer time. We have witnessed in so many cases, one of those would be about this disability certificate. As you are aware that the Persons with Disability Act deals with this disability certificate, and in absence of disability certificate, it says you will not be entitled to any benefit. And now what has happened, this act came in 1995 and became enforceable, I think, sometimes in February 1996. And for the 8 years of this coming into force of this act, the government even did not start implementing it, for the reason that you will find that this disability certificate has to be in terms of the provisions of this act and not otherwise.